everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus of Threshold of Hineni, and we're here to work some more on our Abraham journal. I'm going to be setting it aside because we're not going to actually work in the journal today. Well, we might put the notebooks in there. Okay, so we made these little notebooks last time, and I have some things that I want to tell you about them that I didn't think of in the last video, and hopefully you read the description box because I did put this information down there, or I said to look at this video before making them. But one thing is that I went ahead, I didn't think of this beforehand, but I made some with the stitching at the top, and so these will flip open this way, which to me sometimes is a little bit easier to use. Okay, so and another thing that I forgot to tell you, I don't think very well on my feet when I'm on film, or whatever you call video these days. But it's easiest to do if you do your biggest ones first. So I take all my cover sheets and I put them in order by size. And that way, you know, the scraps that you have left from using the bigger ones, you can use for making the smaller ones. Okay? So these are the ones that I ended up with. I have that little goat, he's cute. And I have this flower. I have a shepherd with his sheep. I have some camels. I have some silhouettes of camels, and I am going to go in with some black and fill in where those lines are there. I have this pretty olive tree. I have some grapes. I have a ram. I have these pretty flowers and a pomegranate. Okay, so those are some things. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to mention is that if you want to, you could use some lace like this. Either sew it right on here when you're sewing the edge on, or you could fold it in half over it and sew it on. Okay, and that could be really pretty. I probably wouldn't do that for my Abraham notebook, although that is really cool looking, isn't it? But I might do it for like some other notebooks, some other journals, but that's just an idea. Or you could use cheesecloth like I had mentioned earlier. I had mentioned this paper in the last one. We probably won't be using this for a couple more, but if you do want to get some of it, I really, really like it. I usually put, in most of my junk journals that have like a vintage or brown grungy or any kind of brown type of base, I usually put in some of these papers because they just go really well and they're really nice. But I also use these to put on the back of journal cards so that there's some writing space. So I'll put the ordering information if you want these. You don't need to have them, but if you want them, like I said, I just really like them. And it does take a few days to get, even if you've got Prime on Amazon. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is you don't have to print out papers to go in those notebooks. You could use some of your coffee dyed paper, would work really well, or you could use binder paper or just scrap paper. Various kinds of scrap paper that you have around the house is totally fine to use. Okay, so before I get to all these scraps that are on my table and show you what we're going to do with those, let's go ahead and let's put these into our journal, or at least some of them in, just that you can see how you might do this. So I'm looking for places where they might fit, like this would be a good place in this Rita Donnelly tuck right here. Okay, so on this page, I can still write on this page. I can write in the Rita Donnelly tuck, the flip, Rita Donnelly flip, sorry, and I can write in this notebook, and I can take that notebook out and take it with me places too. This would be another place that you could put one, but I'm going to save that for something else. Okay, since we've got this there, we could put one in there. Let me see if I have one that I really like to go there. This would look pretty there. Okay, and you can always move these around too, you know, if you decide that, like I might decide that I want the ram to be where God tells Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. That would be really appropriate to have there. So I might move that at some point, but that's part of the beauty of a journal like this, is that you're able to move those things. Okay, so for blue, why don't we put these camels there? You can't see what they are when they're in the pocket, but we will see it when we take it out. And this might be a good place to tuck one in right there. It would also work well in this tuck also. Oh, an almost ideal place for these notebooks is in these side tucks like that. Okay, I still have this awful cold, you guys. Sorry, I have such a loud sneeze, I know. Okay, and then this one, I think I'll put the orange right here. I hadn't really gone through ahead of time to figure it out or anything, but here's our timeline. Let's see, what do I have that would go in there? Maybe this blue one would look pretty there with the sheep. Okay, and I think I'll put the grapes in right here. That looks nice. You know, and like I said, I can always move these around if I change my mind later about where I want things. These large pockets are just kind of ideal for these notebooks. This is a tall one, so I'm putting it in the back because I'll put something else here in front of it. I just need one more. A belly band is a good place to put one, like that. Okay, so that's just real quickly going through and putting those away. Okay, so I have all these scraps. I took the scraps from cutting the papers for those notebooks and I sorted them by size, and I threw away the little teeny tiny pieces, and some of the pieces that were too small for what I want to do, I went ahead and put into my scrap pile. These ones are too narrow for what we're going to be doing, so I'm going to put those into my scrap pile, and these are too, I think. So those are going in my scrap box. Okay, all these pieces here that there were only like 2 or 3 of each size, those are going in my scrap box. These ones are definitely too small. They can go in my scrap box. Okay, so here's what I'm left with. These ones actually I think are a little too small too, because we have plenty. Normally I would probably use ones that are that size for this, but since we have so many, I'm just not going to use them this time. And I'm going to show you how we can make some more little notepads. These aren't going to be notebooks, they're going to be like little notepads. And we'll make some in various ways. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. I feel like my lighting's not very good. I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know what to do about it. So hopefully you can see okay. We have 6 pages here, so that makes a nice size little chunky thingy here. So I'm piece of scrap in there. My desk is such a mess, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to just make 3 staples up at the top, and do you see how I'm not being particular about making sure that they're all even at the top and the sides? That's just because I kind of like it that way. You know, and I keep telling you, oh, you don't have to be perfect and all this stuff. I just want to let you know, if you like things to be really neat, there's nothing wrong with that, and you are welcome to make yours super neat if you want. The reason that I keep saying it doesn't have to be super neat and everything, 2 reasons. One, because I like it kind of messy. To me, that's just, I don't know, scrappy, and I like it. But also because I don't want this to be an intimidating thing to people. If I'm saying you have to make sure that all your edges are perfect and everything, it could be too intimidating to some people to do this, and I want everybody to feel comfortable doing it. So those are some of the reasons why I'm not being particular and why I keep saying that. But I also don't want you to feel bad if you like things to be perfect. There's nothing wrong with that either. Okay, so I've got some burlap here. This is dyed burlap that my husband got for me at Walmart, and I think that the whole roll costs like $4 or something, $3.47 or something like that. You know how they have those weird prices. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a little bit. Usually with fabric, I would rather tear it than cut it, but burlap doesn't work very well that way. I'm just going to cut in like about, what is that, like about 1 inch, and then across. And I'm not being too particular about being super neat or anything. This one I'm not going to sew because I want to show you guys ways that you can do this that you don't have to sew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue here and some glue here. And because it's going to kind of come through the burlap, you're going to want to put it someplace to dry that's not flat. Sorry, I haven't used my glue for a couple days. Gosh, yesterday I was so sick I could hardly do anything. I had to teach my classes, of course. Okay, so I've done this side, and I'm going to put, I think, this side on that. Okay, so it's not like real even or anything, but it's just there. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on top of this so I don't get glue on my table. And I'm going to put some glue here so that we're basically covering up the staples is the main thing. There we go. There we go, just like that. Hopefully it'll hold it down. You may have to hold it for a couple seconds or something to make sure that it stays down. I'm going to hold it for just a bit here. Let me just grab my buttons really quickly. Hopefully I won't bump anything or get too far into the camera. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like right here. Okay, so we've just got a nice little notepad that we can stick in our purse or, stick someplace in the thing. And I've got a bunch of buttons here. I hadn't really, gone through and selected any ahead of time or anything. So I'm just looking for what would look kind of cool on this. Not a teddy bear, I don't think. I'm looking probably for something brown. How about that? That's kind of cute. And sometimes I'll put like a little rosette or something, because the nice thing about these is that you can take them out. And so if you've got some bulk on it in your decoration or something, it would be hard to write on top of this on a page that's on top of it, but you can take this out, and so it's not going to be in the way. The other thing is that if you have any kind of bulk in there that makes it hard to write in your journal, just put a piece of cardboard in there, and that always works really well. Okay, so there's one. See, that's cute, right? And it's just a cute little notepad. You can do this, you guys, you can do this with scrap paper from anything. Okay, it doesn't have to be from like making a journal or something. Okay, now this is long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half like this. And I think I'm going to put some lace on this one. Let me put my glue back. Where's the end of my lace? There we go. And I'm going to just cut a piece that's about the same size as the top of this notebook here. Like so. And this is one thing that I often do with like scraps of the white part of the paper that I cut off and stuff. I'll take that and I'll coffee dye it and then use it to make little notebooks like this. Okay, so I'm going to sew this one on, but you could glue it. If you're going to glue it, then you want to staple it first. Staple it and then glue it. See, and I didn't make a big deal about getting it all perfectly straight or even on the edges or anything. I'm fine with that. I guess I could cut it if I want to, but I don't really want to. I like it looking like that. I think I'm going to put a button on this one too. I don't necessarily have to, but ooh, I kind of like that purple one. That's cute. One thing that I do too is with the scraps that I have left over from cutting stuff like this, I will make up a whole bunch of these little notebooks and I just put them into a box, and then when I have a journal that I'm working on, I can look through the box and see if there's a notebook that's appropriate for it. Okay, now there's too many in here for this, and look at how this is cut kind of crooked, but we're going to leave it like that. You could cut it straight if you want to, but I'm not going to because I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I've got 9 sheets here. So I think I want to use 1, 2, 3, 4 in one, and I'll use 5 in the other. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this in half again. Okay, and see how some of these are going to be a different size. I think I'll put the smaller ones on the back, but even then, it's bigger at the bottom than it is at the top, and that's fine for me. I don't care at all. So This time, what should we do? This time, I might use some fabric at the top of it. So I'm gonna tear a little bit of fabric. This fabric doesn't really go with my Abraham journal, so I'll probably use it someplace else. But I'm just kind of trying to give you guys some ideas of ways that you can use these scraps. Okay, and again, you can staple this here and then glue it, or I'm gonna sew it. But if you stapled and glued it, you would do it just like I did with that burlap one. Okay. And I have a bunch of rosettes, but they're not someplace where I can reach, I don't think. Let me see if maybe they are in this container. I don't think so. Nope. What do I have in here, though? There might be something that would look pretty. No, not really. Okay. Okay, so my rosettes are someplace completely different. So, oh, but with that purple there, I think I've got some flat purple beads. I could put one on there. Yeah, that might be kind of pretty. I might even stick this into my mom's journal or something. I'm going to trim off the edge here because that just sticks off too far for me. Okay, and this scrap I'm not going to throw away. That can go in for frankenpaper, right? Okay, and that's cute, that little thing, but let's make it even cuter by adding some ribbon or some twine. I think I'm going to add a little bow to it if I can get this. There we go. So, and again, I'm so sorry about the light, you guys. I don't know what's going on. I hadn't had problems like this before. So I'm just going to tie this into a nice little bow, not being all perfect with it. It's like somebody, I think it's Diane H on YouTube. I think she says, don't be precious with it, or you don't need to be precious with it. She's so cute. I love her videos. Okay, so yeah, I think that would be cute. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this in my mom's journal. I keep grabbing, I have a brand new thing of glue, but I don't want to open it just yet because this one's still good. I always like to put something up in the corner. You don't have to, of course. It's just me. I just like that. I think it's cute and sweet and everything. Okay, so there's another one that's done. So we've got 3. So you guys get the you get the idea. Here's some bigger paper. So I think I would go ahead and just fold it in half. And it can be a little sideways notebook, just a little side notebook. And I can either just sew it like this, or let's put something on it. Let's put some of this leather stuff on it, if I can find the end. Okay, I'm not sure that it really goes well with this, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to cut it just a little bit bigger than what I need, like that. Okay, I need my sewing machine a little bit closer for this. Okay, and I'm just going to lay it along the side here, and I'm going to zigzag over it. Okay, and I'm not worried about keeping that leather piece really straight or anything. It's just, it'll be where it is. Well, it needs to be on the edge of the paper at least. It wants to pop off, of course. It heard me say it doesn't matter where it is, and it kind of took me at my word. Okay, so here we go. We're just going right over it to hold it in place. I don't think it really goes very well with this particular paper, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea. So, see, like that, and you can cut it off at the ends if you want, or you could leave it hanging off if you wanted to. But that makes for kind of a cool edge. Maybe if it would be better if it was brown, if the paper was brown, but that's not what I had. So anyway, yeah, so just, just go for it and make all kinds of little tiny notebooks with those scraps. And what you don't want to make into notebooks, you can put into your scrap box to use for frankenpaper, or like this is even big enough to make some more pockets, or definitely for side pockets. So you could use this for lots of different things. You can make some notebooks ahead of time for other projects, or just to have notebooks. I mean, gosh, you guys, these would be great for grocery lists. You know, just keep it on your refrigerator or on your table or something, wherever you do your grocery list. That would be really cute. Doesn't have to be for this journal. Like I said, I'll probably use a lot of these in other journals, and because I think I have enough already for the Abraham journal. I might do like 1 or 2 of these in the Abraham journal. Or I may put these in my scrap box to use for other journals, for pockets or side pockets and stuff. But you get the idea. So go ahead, have fun with some of your scraps, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I love you all. Bye-bye.